There is one sector in the financial industry that has the potential to change the whole industry how we know it. I think this sector will be the best performer in the next 5 years. Today, you can still invest for cheap in this sector. So in today's video, I will show you 2 crypto projects that in my opinion will be the best performers and are still cheap. But that will change very, very soon. So it is really important that we look in these projects today. So stay until the end that you know what you gotta do. When I invest into altcoins, it is really important for me to be invested into the right ecosystems. There is, in my opinion, 6 ecosystems that will do really, really well in the upcoming altcoin season. It is real world assets, DeFi, AI combined with DePIN, gaming and layer 1 coins. But I think the best sector in the upcoming years will be for sure real world assets, because the whole Wall Street wants to be part of the real world asset sector, because they want to tokenize every bond, every stock and bring it on the blockchain. This is not a dream or a vision. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, is talking openly about it, that he wants the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. And we are very, very near to that, because the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, said openly there should be no more unclear rules. We need real laws for tokenizations, and this law is on the way. And this is not a surprise for me that Paul Atkins openly supports the tokenization of assets, because Paul Atkins, when we might look back, is also in the board of Securitize, and Securitize is one of the biggest companies in kinds of asset tokenization. So we have an SEC chair that is really supporting our real world asset projects, which will be really good for our portfolios. In my opinion, there is one project that is really, really undervalued, and I already talked a lot about Ondo on my channel. You will find a lot of videos on my channel, but Ondo at today's prices is really, really cheap. We have backing from BlackRock, we have backing from JP Morgan, and we already see real adoption, because we have seen the first transaction on the public blockchain using Chainlink and Ondo to move tokenized treasuries beyond its private network. So we are already seeing the tokenization in full move before even the Ondo chain is launched. So there is huge events coming up in the next months for Ondo Finance. Ondo will launch their global markets. They will launch their own blockchain, their Ondo chain, and we will get the SEC approval to bring the whole Wall Street on chain. So this will be definitely a game changer. And all of this before we are even in an altcoin season. So we are in the middle of the Bitcoin season. So it is perfect for us guys. We have time to build up our portfolios, time to DCA the projects we mostly believe in. So this is why I'm telling you today, look at real world asset projects now. They won't be cheap, they won't be this cheap forever. And about Ondo I already talked a lot on my channel, but there is some other projects that are still very, very cheap. I'm not talking about Chainlink. Chainlink is also a great project. Today, I'm talking with you about Plume, because also with Plume, there is some huge things coming up and you should definitely have an eye on Plume. Plume is just launched in this year and could be one of the biggest real world assets projects besides Ondo, even if they are this young. We can already see some huge growth from Plume. Plume was one of the biggest growing projects in May. When we look at the blockchain, we can really see what is happening behind the scenes, and Plume is already growing big even before their mainnet is launched, and their mainnet will launch very, very soon. It is supposed to launch this week, so you can imagine what that would mean for Plume. If the blockchain launches, the TVL will further explode and the blockchain will grow really, really big. And the best part, this project doesn't even compete with Ondo Finance. They have a partnership that is really, really useful for us, because if we are invested into both of these projects. We don't need no other real world asset projects because these two projects complete the whole real world asset sector. The Plume network will launch their blockchain even before the Ondo blockchain, so they will have a real first mover advantage, which will be really, really great for them. So it is the perfect timing for us to look at these projects now because, as I already showed you, they didn't even grow since their launch. But this will change very, very rapidly because when they launch their blockchain, all of their partnerships will come to work, and they already have more than 200 partnerships. When we look down the list, there is huge names. Yeah, it is more than 200 DApps that they are working with and that we will work with in the future. And all of these projects will work then on the Plume blockchain, and for every transaction you will have to pay fees in Plume coins. So yep, there will definitely be a use case also for the Plume coin. Plume also has very, very strong backing from different venture capital companies. As you can see here, they have the same backing as Ondo, which is kind of funny, yeah? So if you're invested into both of these projects, you are doing really, really well for your real-world asset portfolio, because this will be one of the most growing sectors in 2025. And I think these two projects complete each other, because Ondo wants to bring the whole Wall Street to the blockchain, and Plume wants to bring people like you and me onto the blockchain, to the tokenization. Plume is like the Robinhood 2.0. This is what they are telling us even. They want to build their tools for everybody so that everybody can be part of the tokenization of bonds and stocks on the blockchain. So we will make huge gains when they both launch their products. Ondo is like Wall Street 2.0. The layer 1 will be for institutions. Plume network is like Robinhood 2.0. The layer 1 will be for everyone. So you need, in my opinion, both of these projects in your real world asset portfolio, because this sector is growing huge. There is expected to come 30 trillion to real world assets. So you better invest now, because 30 trillion is 10 times as big as the whole blockchain sector. And you could imagine what that means if this much money comes to the blockchain. If assets worth 10 times more than the whole crypto sector will be tokenized and brought to the blockchain, the whole blockchain sector will explode. Also, a lot of big newspapers like Cointelegraph are writing about it. So this is not an expectation of mine. This is the expectation of experts. This will be the next big thing. This will drive mainstream adoption. This will be for sure a $1 trillion opportunity. So I think this will be one of the best sectors to be invested in. But let me know down in the comments, are you already invested into real world asset projects? And if you don't believe me, believe Larry Fink, because Larry Fink says this is the next generation for markets, and Larry Fink always has some powerful friends that will make his dreams come reality. We have seen it with the Bitcoin spot ETFs, that was his dreams. Now he wants to tokenize every bond and stock, as he already said openly. So this will be the next big thing, and you better be prepared now. So guys, let me know down in the comments, which is your favorite real world asset projects. I know there is some other very interesting projects as well out there. Let me know which one is your favorite, and where do you think this sector will grow in 2025? And do you already hold Ondo or Plume in your wallets? I'm very excited to read from you guys. I hope I was able to give you some good insights in today's video. If you liked the video, please smash the follow button and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.